Transfer rumours from today's papers. Liverpool reportedly monitoring West Ham's Jared Bowen. Jurgen Klopp wants to bolster his attacking options heading into the campaign. He's 24 years old, 8 goals, 5 assists across 38 Premier League appearances last season, so not bad at all in terms of his record out there on the pitch. We know what he did playing for Hull City as well. Before we get to some of the reaction of Liverpool fans, particularly on social media, so it's a small subsection of Liverpool fans today, do you think Jared Bowen...
You're judging that on social, from what social media is saying?
No, just look, I'm at least, lots of people don't. I'm stressing that it was a very small group of Liverpool fans. Some people come on here, they just label them all the same. I wouldn't do that. But you've watched a lot of West Ham United and Jared Bowen, so... Do you think he would be a good fit for Liverpool before we get to the reaction?
Well, I watched a lot of him at Hull. And, you know, this is a decent team in the Championship and then a struggling team in the Championship. And he never failed to score. He's a clever guy who's quick, understands where to be, left foot, right foot. He predominantly left, but he can do both. Goes in behind, he's got the pace. And when he joined, I mean, for a couple of seasons, we were talking on air about why aren't Premier League teams coming in for him? This is a guy who, if you don't want to spend loads and loads of money, this is a guy who can come in and do a really good job for you. And I just think maybe Hull at the time, because he had a few years left in his contract, wanted too much money. But too much money then was probably 20, 25 million. What's he worth now? He's been superb for West Ham. I mean, one of West Ham's best players. And again, it wasn't just his goals and even his assists, it's his carries. And when you're defending and you've been under pressure, I can tell you as a fullback, you want someone who can relieve that bit of pressure. And he can carry the ball so well. And then, not as well as Jack Grealish, but that type of way that can just take the pressure off the defence. So for me, he adds a little bit of everything. And do I think he could do a job? I mean, Diogo Jota, perhaps Liverpool fans would have raised their eyebrows as to, you know, why are we bringing in someone like him when, you know, he actually wasn't always 100% in the Wolves team. We know what he did there. I think Jared Bowen is capable of doing well. I'm just not sure that that's what Liverpool need, to be honest with you. Unless a Mane or a Salah look like they're on the verge of going somewhere. And I haven't heard any rumours about that. Any of that on social media?
Jordan Shaqiri, he might not be brought in to start. Maybe
he's not going to be brought in to start.
But Jordan Shaqiri, Divock Origi might be leaving the club. And maybe Gini Wijnaldum's gone. It's a little bit of extra help. Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back from injury
it's a squad
too.
Game. It's a squad game, Hugh, and you know what it's like. It's not just Premier League, it's Champions League. It's 2 games a week. I genuinely think he could do a job of Jota. And I think most Liverpool fans would say, wow, okay, we'll take that. So I wouldn't be surprised to hear that. I certainly wouldn't be dumbing down Jared Bowen going to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening, though, in reality.
Well, he's one of a number of players, apparently, that Liverpool are looking at. Gini Wijnaldum's left the club. They want maybe another midfielder.
Different player.
And a different player, of course, but maybe someone that can be a little bit more attacking in the midfield areas. They've got, I think, a very, very good squad at Liverpool. But they're one of the clubs so far in this transfer window that the fans have been a little bit, impatient with, expecting, firstly, to be linked to more players. But the reaction is, we don't need West Ham players. We need top quality. We want to win another Champions League.
Well,
are Liverpool currently in that sphere? Are they able to spend the money needed to bring in a top draw? Because they could easily, the Liverpool fans, watch Erling Haaland arrive in the Premier League and not with them, and they could watch Harry Kane move club.
They can't afford them.
And not with them, exactly. They could watch some great players come to the Premier League this summer and not move to Liverpool.
Do you know what, though? Liverpool is that type of team where... Actually, I don't think they need to bring in a lot of players. They just need to get the injured players back. Okay, yes, Wijnaldum, I was surprised that he went. I still don't get that even now. That must have been financial. There's an issue with, clearly, it must be Jordan Henderson's agent who's come out and said that there's contract problems, but still 2 years. I believe that will be sorted. He's too important both on and off the pitch for me.
What if it's not? If you were Jordan Henderson, because I had a big row with Danny last night.
He's not going anywhere this season.
No, I understand that.
He's not going anywhere. He's got 2 years left. He's not going anywhere. Go on.
But, I want you to put yourself into Jordan Henderson's shoes, though. Because Danny, Danny, look, we had very strong opinions on it last night. So just let me explain the situation that I would be feeling. Yes, he's got 2 years left on what is probably a very good contract, but he maybe wants 4 years at this level of pay. And obviously, at the moment, Liverpool aren't willing to give him that 2 year extension at the level that he wants. Now, if I'm Jordan Henderson, I'm thinking, well, I could probably sign a 4-year deal elsewhere on the money that I'm currently on. I think he's still good enough to be able to get that. No, but okay, maybe it's not about money, but he could be playing for a good club. He could get the 4-year deal, best for him and his family. Why not?
No,
he's won everything there is to win with Liverpool.
No, it's about respect, and respect, money comes with respect. So he might have to wait another year if he has a really good season. Look, he's had his injury problems, hasn't he? So
these are all more reasons to try and move to another club. So you get that 4 years guaranteed.
But why would you leave Liverpool? Why?
This is what I mean. It's only money.
He doesn't need the money. His kids don't need the money. His future grandkids don't need the money. It's not about money. Now it's about leaving a legacy. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say that he's not going to be unhappy with sort of waiting for the last 2 years and okay, then maybe offer me something off the back of that. I'm pretty sure something will get sorted. This is a negotiation tactic that's going on. We know that's going on in terms of negotiation of the contract, but also his agent's come out, and I'm pretty sure it's his agent and made it public. He's not going anywhere. If it takes another year to sign that extra contract, extra 2 years, then so be it. You do not leave Liverpool. Certainly not if you're English. The only way is down. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. What did Danny say?
No, Danny totally agrees with you. He just says, why are they even discussing a new contract? Pretty much, Jordan Henderson's not going anywhere.
No, he's got 2 years left. Yeah, exactly, so that's what players do. They discuss, and agent goes in, right, I want double, and the club say, no way, and then the agent's unhappy. They've got 2 years to sort this out. And we sort it out in a year. Won't be sorted out in the next couple of months. I'm pretty sure of that. Unless Jordan Henderson's agent drops his demands, because Liverpool have shown they're not willing to give Georgie Wijnaldum what he wants. And how much are they going to have to pay to replace someone like him now? So for them, it's about the wage bill. But he's the captain. What he's done both on and off the pitch, he's not going anywhere this season.
Do they need a midfielder to replace Wijnaldum? Because they've still got a lot at Liverpool. Still got a lot of good players at Liverpool. Many coming back from injury. The two centre-backs, of course.
Yeah.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I think will be involved much more. But you've got Naby Keita, you've got Fabinho, you've got Thiago. There's a lot of good players still at Liverpool. Where would you be looking if you were in the scouting department right now?
Do you know what? For me, it's about depth. I think Wijnaldum has been superb, a fantastic signing for Liverpool, and he will be a miss, of that there's no doubt. But I'm a big Thiago fan. I thought he was treated a little bit harshly in the press and by some sections of the fans as well. I love watching that guy play. I mean, he keeps the ball. But imagine when you come from Bayern Munich, you've won things. First of all, Barcelona, then Bayern Munich. You've got a pedigree. And then actually you come in your first season where Liverpool have practically won, everything or next to everything. And suddenly everyone's dropping like flies, getting injured. The two centre-backs that give you, or three centre-backs that give you that solidity are not there. So the midfielders you'd be playing alongside, and now you're not playing alongside because they're playing at centre half. Suddenly then it relies on you to try and make things tick in your first season in the Premier League. I'm a big fan. I genuinely think Liverpool are one of those teams, and one of the very, very few teams that don't need to add too much. They just need to get their players fit, and they'll be back.
This is an example of the small section of Liverpool fans that I was discussing a little bit earlier on. These are the people that I need to respond to. Scott. Hi, Hugh. This is Tony, big Liverpool fan, always gets in touch with the show. Good evening, Tony. We still like you after this comment, but can Jared Bowen drive a bus, says Tony, because that's the only way he's going to get near the Liverpool team. Now, this is what I mean about some of the reaction I've seen, and all I would say to those Liverpool fans is think about it, really think about it. Joe Gomez came from Charlton. Yeah. Andrew Robertson and Gini Wijnaldum came from relegated teams in the Premier League. Southampton players, Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, of course. Mohamed Salah was called a Chelsea reject when he arrived, and look what he did. See, Roberto Firmino, the same as well.
Jota as well is the big one. Yeah. What was everyone thinking last season when he signed?
41 million is a lot of money, I think, is what everyone was saying.
Exactly. And now do they think is a pretty decent buy? He'd be something similar as well. But Tony, it's great that you come in regularly at talkSPORT, but I'm afraid you haven't watched Jared Bowen much, have you?
Tony, believe in the process. Believe in your manager, Jurgen Klopp. He's done well enough with his signings, hasn't he? The future is still bright, and I think Liverpool could have a great season as well. Plenty still to come on Kickoff. Don't go anywhere, but I should read one of the messages on the text topic, 81089. The players, the big signings your club made that disappointed. James says, I remember at Leeds, both Thomas Brolin and then later Roque Jr., the Brazilian defender, both were terrible. Keep them coming in on 81089.
Kickoff with Hugh Wozencroft. Tuesday to Thursday night, 7 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.